Development of the Orion started with three potential designs: an app that allows people to point their phones at each other over long distances, a pair of dedicated devices that do this with the addition of gamifying it, and shoes that would move the user to someone's GPS location using wheels. We decided on the second option, as this seemed like it would be the easiest and most interesting. Initially, microbits were used as the base device. However, unfortunately their compass was not accurate enough, and required both users to point in the same direction for anything to happen. On top of that, since the microbits didn't have a GPS, the direction you point in wasn't necessarily at the other person. To improve accuracy, we moved away from microbits, and opted to use Arduinos. We started by using the Arduino Uno, but later moved to the Arduino MKR1000, as this has built-in Wi-Fi. Using an Arduino gave us the freedom to use external sensors and devices, most importantly a GPS. To display information, we used a glow-bit rainbow, which can be used to display which direction you're facing in a semicircle with glowing LEDs, like a compass. It can also show the device's state, like whether it's in pairing mode, and such. The last part of the design is connecting the devices, which is unfortunately one area where the Arduinos fall short compared to the microbits. With the microbits, wireless communication requires only a few lines of setup. However, wireless communication with the Arduinos is a lot more complicated. One Arduino was designated as the server, and the other as the client. The server creates a Wi-Fi access point which the client connects to. The original design was intended to communicate over long distances, but this would have been very complicated to pull off, and went beyond the scope of our project. So we made the devices more like toys, which provide a cowboy shootout-like game over a distance of roughly 50 meters. To make the game more engaging, we also made a glove, which fits the devices, and made it more fun to use. In the end, however, we had to create a controlled demonstration. Unfortunately, the compasses we used with the Arduinos were not reliable enough, and since the pointing is reliant on the compasses, we were not able to produce a proper working version. We did create code that would have likely worked if the hardware worked, but it may have needed some changes as it was difficult to test without the hardware working. The functionality that is complete and is shown in the demonstration is the score visualization and the direction. Direction is shown on the radial display on the glow-bit rainbow, and the score is shown by lighting up an LED for each point you have. Thank you for watching our video on making the Orion.